terrific. We spent the whole day, went to about 10 different locations. I think people are ready for a change. We need to make Connecticut more affordable. We need to support police, keep people safe, and we need to let parents start raising their kids again and letting them decide where and what they want to talk to their kids about at the kitchen table and get schools back to teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic. We've gotten a terrific reaction everywhere we've been. We're seeing good turnout, certainly from our supporters, and we're excited about tonight.
What are the voters saying to you today?
I'm sorry?
What are the voters saying to you today?
The biggest issue here is affordability. You hear about people filling up their oil tanks halfway. You hear about people not being able to afford food and prescription drugs at the same time. Laura Devlin, my LG, we're going to give half of that budget surplus back. We're going to give $3 billion back to the people of Connecticut. It's over $2,000 per family, and that's going to give them some relief. If Governor Lamont were to win, the first thing you're going to see is a gas tax hike on December 1st. Then on January 1st, you're going to see a truck tax that's going to be inflationary. Eversource is talking about 40% increases. We need a change. Connecticut needs a change in direction. The only way to do that is to change the governor, and we feel like we're going to get it done tonight.
Bob, if you do win, what do you attribute the win to, and if you lose, what do you attribute the loss to?
I'll attribute the win to, I think, a lack of awareness. I don't think the governor is ignoring people, but I don't think he understands how much people are suffering. I grew up in New Haven, Connecticut. I know what it's like to struggle to make a rent payment. I know what it's like to buy a used car rather than a new car. And I feel for people. And we've been all over this state for the past year. People need a break. Parents, they don't want their kids being taught sex education in kindergarten when their kids can barely tie their shoes. They don't want to have a mask mandate for their kids for COVID. I believe in the efficacy of vaccines. I believe in masks, but I think it should be up to the parent. Governor Lamont very likely could mandate the COVID vaccine for kids. I don't think that's appropriate. I think it should be up to the parent. And then finally, safety. You see catalytic converters being stolen. You see cars being stolen. We've been endorsed by the police department for the top 5 cities in Connecticut. We're going to protect our law enforcement. You saw the tragedy in Bristol. So we need to support our police. We need to keep people safe. We need to make it more affordable. We've got a plan to do all 3 of those things. And this current administration is not going to get that done.
And if you lose, what would you think?
We're not going to lose. We're not going to lose.
Talk a little bit about tonight. I'm down here, sorry.
Oh, there you are.
Election watch party, a lot of Republican candidates here. What kind of energy can we expect tonight?
We feel good. We're seeing some good turnout in key areas for Republicans. We've got a lot of competitive races. The 5th district is certainly interesting. The 2nd district. You see a trend towards Republicans nationally over the last 2-3 weeks. I think people are fed up with inflation. They're fed up with lack of support of law enforcement. They're fed up with crime. And Connecticut's been under Democratic control for 40 years now. We've had 12 years of a Democratic governor. People want to change in direction. And again, the best way to do that is to change governors, at least try something different. You may not agree with everything I have to say, but shouldn't we certainly at least try something different? And I think that's why we're going to see some good results tonight.
And what would you say is different about your campaign this year compared with the last time you ran for governor?
Much broader. I've gotten to know the people a lot better. I've also tried to be a little bit more relaxed. I think I was a little bit tight last time, and I didn't let people see. I'm a normal guy. I grew up in New Haven. I went to the public schools. I worked hard. I built a family here. I built a career here. I just want to give back. I just want to give back to this state that's been great to me. I want more kids to have the opportunities that I had. Selfishly, I don't want to have to get on a plane to see my grandkids down in Florida. I've got 3 beautiful daughters. And I think that the state is ready for a new approach. I think they're ready for a new leader. And hopefully tonight will be that kickoff point.
Mr. Stefanowski, in 2018, you ran a very close election with then candidate Lamont. Do you sense like what you're speaking with voters, barnstorming the entire state? What do you feel is different from 2018 to now in 2022, if there is any?
I think people are less happy with the situation. I don't think anybody thinks it's safer than it was 4 years ago when Governor Lamont came in. It's certainly not more affordable than it was 4 years ago. The infrastructure is not any better than it was 4 years ago. Education is worse than it was 4 years ago. parents' ability to raise their kids as they see fit is worse than it was 4 years ago. And I think they're finally ready for a change. In 2018, we weren't ready. The past 4 years have not been good. We've got $6 billion of a COVID slush fund that Governor Lamont refuses to give back to taxpayers. That's taxpayer money. We're going to give half of it back, and we're going to give people immediate relief, and I think they see the benefit of doing that.
Polls close in a little less than 20 minutes. Are you getting any early results?
Well, you guys are the experts. I just have heard the turnout in key areas for our high, and we're hoping it stays that way, but I guess we'll know pretty soon. So thank you guys very much. Thank you.